The past few weeks have been absolute chaos for Warner Brothers and DC after James Gunn, the new head of DC Films, has announced not only are they going to move away from projects that people thought would be coming out, but indeed Henry Cavill would no longer be Superman. That was met with a massive wave of backlash, but apparently there's still some people at Warner Brothers, still some people at DC that they have no problem spending millions and millions of dollars to promote, and that is of course Ezra Miller and the Flash movie. The Flash movie gets trailer update following Henry Cavill removal. Now, of course, Henry Cavill was supposed to appear in the Flash. Whether those things will still happen, whether they're going to be cut out as has been rumored, only they know at this point. But one thing is for sure, they have no problem doubling down on Ezra Miller, not only to have him come out and be a part of this, be a part of all the reshoots, when they probably would have been well within their rights to fire him after all the ridiculous things legally that he got up to. But no, they're going to stick with Ezra Miller and move off someone like Henry Cavill. And now they're willing to throw down likely over $10 million just to get a Super Bowl commercial for Ezra Miller's Flash. Ezra Miller and the Flash get a multi-million-dollar Super Bowl commercial. For the first time in 17 years, Warner Brothers will be having a Super Bowl commercial courtesy of David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery. Henry Cavill is fired. Dwayne Johnson is fired. Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck are likely done. Oh, Batgirl's canceled, so is a bunch of other things. But meanwhile, for his good behavior, Ezra Miller is getting a multi-million-dollar Super Bowl commercial courtesy of Warner Brothers Discovery CEO and new co-heads of the DCU, James Gunn and Peter Safran. And of course, so many people are focusing now on the fact that Ezra Miller, despite being in all this trouble, despite committing all of these crimes over and over and over again, despite all the weird stuff that's going on with this dude's personal life, they seem to be still ready and willing to spend a bunch of money on his movies while cutting out things like Henry Cavill's Superman. On one hand, you can certainly understand them not wanting to say, hey, we're officially done with Ezra Miller right now, because that would probably cut this movie out at the knees, right? If you knew that this person wasn't there going forward, why would anybody get invested? Why would anybody decide to go up and see this if you know there's no future in it? At the same time, I can see why people would be upset that they're deciding to give somebody like this more opportunities, more marketing, while cutting out all these other parts of the DC universe like Cavill's Superman. The Flash is reported to be getting a Super Bowl commercial during Super Bowl, 57 on Sunday, February 12th, where it's been said that it'll play in front of Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium Super Bowl trailer. Last year's commercials cost $6.5 million for a 30-second spot, so this year's are likely to be even more. And to put that in perspective, there's no way they're going to run just a 30-second teaser. It will be a minute long, so you're talking about, at a minimum, $10 million, likely somewhere around $15 million for Warner Brothers to run a Flash commercial during the Super Bowl. Keep in mind, this is a project that's production budget has already ballooned. This is a project that's been delayed and rewritten time after time, reshot multiple times. It's chaos. It's absolutely nuts what they've done to try to keep this movie going. And at this point, they've gone so far as to say, you know what? Ezra Miller's still our guy going forward, despite all of these legal issues, despite all of these allegations that we've fired other people at this company for. We're sticking with Ezra Miller. And I do get that from some perspective. They have so much money wrapped up in it, they can't really afford to recast him at this point. But with everything going on in the DC, with really all the rumors out there and all the speculation being a full DC reboot coming for all of the Snyderverse characters, it's kind of ridiculous that they are going out there and continuing to double and triple down on Ezra Miller's The Flash. I certainly don't think it's going to do that great in the box office, not just because of the controversy surrounding Ezra Miller, but because I think people know that this is the end of the DC universe as they knew it. What can they get invested in going into this movie? What can they look forward to? Is it just going to be to see Michael Keaton play Batman again for a little bit in this movie? Is that really what people are going to go out there and get excited for? I don't know. Now, we have heard reports that it is done positively in test screenings and things like that. Black Adam certainly didn't do that well. Aquaman certainly didn't do that well in their test screenings. They did a couple reshoots on those. They've done extensive reshoots on The Flash as well. But they are clearly putting a lot of money, time, effort, and energy into making sure this thing does something for them. I just don't know if that's going to be it. What about Ezra Miller? Regarding Ezra Miller, who's been in a heap of trouble, it's been reported that once Miller was told there was a possibility he could get canceled and that he could get the axe, the actor, who identifies as non-binary and uses pronouns completely changed they, them's tune. That's pretty good writing here from Matt McGloin. Miller has said to be getting treatment, and he had a very positive meeting with Warner Brothers brass in August to discuss the future of the film. What remains to be seen is whether or not Ezra Miller will be sticking around following the Flash movie, as Gunn and Safran are developing a new DCU, including a new Superman, and Gunn has shot down claims that he's rebooting everything except his Suicide Squad cast. The flick is adapting the Flashpoint story from the comics involving alternate universes. Yes, there's going to be multiple Barry Allens. There's also going to be, instead of Superman from Flashpoint, of course, it's going to be Latina Supergirl. You're going to have things like that play out. Instead of Thomas Wayne, it's probably going to be Michael Keaton's Batman. That's how these things are all going to play out. This had the opportunity to be really cool and a really awesome project, but it got stuck in developmental hell. The lead actor is an absolute insane person. We've covered Ezra Miller multiple times on this channel. This dude is a nut job. And if any normal human being had some of the allegations and some of the provable things that he's done on their record, they wouldn't be able to get a job. So the fact that Ezra Miller still has his, he should consider himself lucky. And it looks like Warner Brothers and James Gunn and everybody is perfectly comfortable with paying, multi-millions of dollars just to get a Super Bowl commercial, something they haven't done in 17 years, to desperately try to get this movie to do something. Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments section below. Do you think it's worth spending all that money, $15 million in all likelihood, for a Super Bowl commercial for something that may really not have anyone's interest to begin with? Let me know. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.